Strike to this computer. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. This is Malcolm in the middle with the brilliant Alex and the caring and motherly Erin. How you
Aw,
guys doing today?
doing awesome. Thank you.
Right on. Nice, nice. Alex gives the thumbs up, so we're ready to rock and roll. There's some pretty crazy things going on in Canada these days. Apparently, we have a railway strike. So this is going to be interesting to see what our brilliant prime minister executes to see if they're going to kind of stop our country and grind it to a halt, almost similar to like maybe COVID. That would be crazy. Could you imagine? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I can't see them letting that happen with the railway, anyways.
No? Yeah, I know
Yeah,
they are
they're
trying to execute that order, right?
yeah, no,
So,
they've diverted every other time. It's just too much of an impact on the economy.
yeah, it's crazy. There's 9,000 workers. I can't believe it. Engineers, conductors, and dispatchers. That's a lot of people. And I heard
Hmm.
that they're earning, it's not so much about wage, I guess, because an engineer is earning about a 150,000 K per year. They only have to work 160 days. I mean, these guys have 205 days off. That is amazing. I thought teachers had it good. These guys have it better than anybody. I mean, damn.
So
I must
so so what so what is it about them? Just fair
it,
working
it's
conditions, or
fatigue. Yeah. Like apparently it's because um some of these the working conditions are stressful and sometimes these guys are having to work when they're tired and so it's the unfair or unsafe working condition is basically I guess where they're griping and that's awful. Yeah, hopefully
Lots of
they can
pressure.
come
Mm.
I'm
to
sure there's
something.
lots of pressure in the sector to get things where they need to go, of course, right? It's too bad we
Mhm.
didn't have a conductor or an engineer that does supply that service to the country because we all do appreciate them a lot. Okay, I would like to actually hear from one of them or many of them. Uh, what is happening? You know, how can we come up to a fair? I know I'm not their negotiator, okay, but what is fair, right? Because I'm on the
Mhm.
west side of Canada. Yesterday, I realized somebody brings it to my attention because the boats are starting to line up here, west southeast side of Vancouver Island,
Mhm.
because of the railroad strike, which I was not even aware there was a railroad strike because I'm disconnected from that. But you can see on the international Canadian waters here and international boats, etc., with their export and import, this will have huge impact on everybody.
Yeah.
And if they are striking, I don't know who exactly their employer is, but if it is Canada, okay, the Canada flag,
Mhm.
I do think that we do, me myself, I appreciate the people that are leaving their houses and maybe not coming home for a long time. And if these kinds of things are happening to the people that are working in those sectors, because we do know
For
there's
sure.
a shortage of staff in all sectors. I'm sure this is probably very similar. So not that nobody that's walking on that picket line probably wants to be walking on there either, because it's a loss of everything, wages, what have you. When all these
No,
negotiations are going on, they could have probably solved the problem for a lot of things. So again, peace and good trade and good fair working conditions, safe is really important. So I hope that's what the values or the negotiations are talking about.
yeah, I hope so. I don't believe like just to touch on it, I um the Canadian Pacific Railway, I don't think is at all a crown corporation because now the name is if I, let me just double check, but I'm pretty sure it's called Canadian Pacific Can or Railway Kansas City Limited because I do believe a company out in Kansas City did purchase them.
yeah.
So
So well,
that's
Yeah, and the issues were around wages and labor availability while maintaining safety.
Oh, labor, oh, availability. So they're understaffed
Yeah,
and
yeah, wages
overworked.
and labor availability. Um,
Yeah. So then they didn't have enough hands to go and do anything. That's
Like
crazy.
I,
I didn't
like
know
I
that.
just mentioned in other
I wonder how
sectors,
many more people they need, or are they talking like just grunts, like, well, not grunts, but people that are not at
well,
that level of
well,
engineer and conductors, right?
yeah.
take the
Well,
team.
the CTV News says the company has not, or sorry, it says the sticking points in the talks boiled down to crew scheduling, fatigue management, and safety. The Teamster said. The union has rejected binding arbitration with both companies.
Right. No, that's wild. Both companies. So is
Yeah,
C and Rail also striking?
yeah,
Wow. I
but
thought it was
but
only.
um, but the strike has been diverted, according
Okay,
to
so
my
and
intel
that's
here.
that was done by what, Justin, I guess? Or that would be the
Um,
transport minister, maybe. That would have did
Transport
it.
Canada, I would think. Transport Canada, because they are sending all our goods and services across east to west
yeah,
coast. But
on
that's why I'm
Toronto
just saying,
CT.
like, I'm sorry the sector is that suffering. What I alluded to before we even Googled it, right? Probably not
Yeah.
From
enough people in the
yeah,
sector working. And
from
so the
Toronto
question for the people that are working endless hours, I support them. I support them. And my name is Erin Miller, and I support people that are helping our country get things
mm,
around. And if we don't have enough staff, things aren't safe, and people
I
have to
don't,
actually
yeah,
stand up and all strike against
hmm.
it. Like
Yeah,
I wish
see,
that we could
see,
always
see,
come
as
up with
a
fair things.
as
Fair things.
as an entrepreneur, personally, I disagree. I think if you don't like
Really?
what your circumstance, leave. Like, try to
Well, that's
hold
what they're doing.
a
That's what
company,
they're
try to
doing.
hold
They're
a co
leaving.
try to, yeah, well, leave. No, they're not leaving. They're going on strike. They're holding hostage. Quit. You know what I'm saying? Just
I'm
quit.
sure.
Find something else.
I'm
No,
sure
no,
some of
find
them
something
are
else
getting
that's
their
more, find
jobs.
something else that's more manageable then. Find something that's more to your liking then, right?
Yeah, they
How's
probably
going on
are.
strike? How's going on strike and help you? You're gonna be behind on your bills. You don't get paid full wages. You're gonna be behind on your mortgage. Like you just,
Yeah, no, I never went on strike myself, but I just support that we have safe working environments for people that are hauling our stuff across the country. I support
yeah,
work.
I think wages has a big thing to do with more than safety.
I know you guys
But
Googled that. It
but
says
they earn $150,000 for 160 days.
thank God.
That's
Thank God
that's
so they
like
can buy groceries. Thank God so they can buy groceries because it costs a lot of money now in this country to buy groceries. You have to make
this
that
is
kind of
true, but
money.
I mean somebody like that can
Yeah.
easily do like their quality of time must be unbelievable.
Wait,
That freedom,
wait,
you can't put a price
Malcolm,
on that, and that's pretty.
Malcolm. I'm not gonna ask you how old you are, but um, how many jobs have you had in your lifetime? Do you know?
Oh no, I don't know. There's been a lot. Like
There's been
there's
a
been
lot. Why?
several in
Why?
the same
Why?
industry.
Why? Why? Why the changes?
You know what?
Why a lot?
I was always trying to look for something better.
Exactly. All right. Same. And I think, I just I do not agree with that at all. I think it's shameful and disrespectful because to me, if I'm in a circumstance or environment I don't care for is not favorable to me, guess what? I'm gonna flip the script. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit there and force them to. Like if they, like we'll talk about obviously have a discussion, and if they aren't flexing, guess what? I'm out. I'm looking for a ship
You're
that's sailing
looking
my
for the
way.
door. But
Yeah,
even if
that's
you
sailing my
have
way.
all the tenure and everything like that, you're just gonna bounce. Like you put in all that time and think about it. CN and Canadian Pacific Railway probably have some of the craziest like retirement packages.
You know what though?
And if
You
you're
don't
a person like you can't think like you because you're a very
no
entrepreneurial
no
mindset,
no,
right?
but think about it. Think about what you just said there right there too. They have what? The craziest retirement packages, 150
Yeah,
grand a year, right? Right? And
yeah.
what education do you need to be in CN Rail? What education?
I
None.
do believe
None.
just
None.
no high
None.
school, isn't
None.
it?
None. No, well, yeah, well, no, not in high school. Yeah, they have on the job training, and the courses on the job, but no, none. Okay, so they're
Really?
replaceable. Okay,
Mm, yeah,
they're
yeah. Well,
replaceable. You're like they're not. Yeah, they're replaceable. All of them.
oh wow, wow, that's a harsh feeling. I don't know if they're like some people just have a knack for this stuff. I don't know. But I guess it could be taught. You don't think there's any talent involved in what these engineers do? I have no idea what they do. Like I
Well,
don't.
yeah, engineers, yes, but not everyone's on CN as an engineer, right? Yes, those people go to school to become an engineer, right? That get on. Um,
Well, the people that are on strike are mostly engineers, conductors, and what do they say? Dispatchers. So dispatchers are on the phone, or I guess on whatever. And then conductors, I'm not sure what they do, and I don't. I'm not saying that they don't do much. I just don't know. I ignorance to that industry. I have no idea. I wonder what like who's the ones that connect the cars together and
Okay, so
like I guess they drive.
students learn the Canadian rail operating rules and key skills such as switching and marshalling cars, handling dangerous goods, performing inspections, and keeping records. At the British Columbia Institute of Technology, for example, Thunder Bay, Ontario. So there's a couple places where, but again, you get hired on and then you go to school, like to learn these things, right? You pass these courses to get on full time, and so
Interesting.
people just don't go take these courses and hope they'll get hired on.
Right. That's wild.
Yeah, and so CN believes that everyone should have the opportunity to learn new skills and build their career. Um, and so they have online courses and hands-on training that they provide to their employees. And so,
Wow. So that's pretty interesting. I guess that wow, that makes sense. That is wild. I did not realize that they were like but I guess that makes sense just because you you kind of don't want bad habits or whatever. You know what I mean? You don't want somebody else teaching them how to do your stuff. It's almost like the McDonald's way, replication, and it just
exactly. Yeah,
all the
yeah.
way
And
down,
so,
right? So it's their philosophy, it's their way of doing it. It's not like Joe Blow from,
well,
Duke University that taught you how to do this and then you
yeah,
came and do it. Like, no.
yeah. I remember from years ago when they had done this. There was a looming strike here, right across Canada. There was a lot of scab workers crossing the line, right?
Right. Oh yeah, and probably just wow.
Yeah, yeah. So,
So I
I don't
guess,
know.
yeah.
To me, I fully just disagree. If you don't like your situation, make a change, right? I don't agree that striking's the answer.
Well, I know out by you, um, what was it? Manitoba Public Insurance. They had a strike
Mhm.
not too long ago. Um, all their workers. It's weird. I don't know. It almost seems like it's incumbent on a union to strike at least once in a while. I don't know. They always seem to go to negotiation. It's wild.
Not
Interesting.
really, because when you think about it, people that have unions pay a fee, right? There's a cost to being in a union because I know some employers that the staff would try to bring in a union, like for example, here in Winnipeg, what's it called? Stella's. Stella's is this restaurant here in the city that's opened up a whole bunch of chains. They've done
Right.
really well. Great breakfast. I don't know if you ever heard of Stella's, but there was
Yeah.
some staffing issue. There were some issues with staff, and they were trying to bring a labor or a union, and the employer
Really?
said, you know what, I'll just shut everything. I'll just shut everything fucking down. I'll just shut it all down.
Really?
Yeah, and it never. Yeah, it just and it failed. And same thing with the Pony Corral here in the city. Some of the staff tried years ago to bring a union in. It, um,
It's hard.
no, like next.
Yeah. no, I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's weird to even have a union, like, because I'd rather represent myself personally. My needs are
Exactly,
not going to
exactly.
be the
No, no,
same as
exactly,
yours, right?
exactly,
Like
exactly.
what I want or what my perceived um worth is different from yours. I'm not
Well,
saying
what
it's
kind of,
higher. I'm
yeah,
not saying
no,
it's lower.
well,
I
yeah,
don't need
exactly,
to know.
exactly,
And that's what
exactly.
I want to
But
negotiate with the boss, right?
think about it. What kind of relationship is this, right? When
Mm,
every, like, say, okay, I, I'm gonna go strike if you don't give me this. I'm quitting if you don't give me this.
yeah.
Or not I'm quitting. I'm just gonna boycott. I'm just gonna not come show up to work unless I get this.
And then
You know what I
they
mean?
have the choice of firing, right? So yeah, no,
Yeah,
makes
like,
sense.
I mean, let's talk about it, and hey, I need this to, maybe this and this and this to, do better, or perform better, or to make it make sense for me to be here. And if you can,
Mhm.
great. If you can't, I have to move on.
Yeah, that's a very
Right?
stern and
Right? No, no.
forward
But
way of
but
going
but
about
but
it.
but let's think about it, because really, I'm going on strike. Really, you're putting yourself above your customers that put food on your fucking table,
Mm,
right?
true. And in this
Yeah,
case,
because
this is literal because they'll
exactly, because
affect everything.
yeah, because essentially you're delivering goods to people, and
Yeah,
the goods
like
that you're
everything.
delivering is how CN makes their money, and that's how you get fucking paid,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah,
so yeah, aside from working conditions, all this other stuff, wages is part of it. Let's be honest. Wages is a big part of it. Okay. And so
mm.
you complain about wages, but yet you're going to go on strike and hurt the very thing that is you're upset
Is
about.
paying your bills. Yeah, yeah, it is kind of backward. And I, I I think people should bring up their grievances, like you're saying. Um,
Listen,
I
a
tried
lot
to
of
everything I could do it never to be part of any sort of union. Like, I mean, I should have been
well,
part of the union at like what's it called
well,
when I worked in the hotel.
I
Oof.
take it. I take it a step further. I tried never to be a part of any grievance.
That's fair. It's just always a raise, but no
Yeah,
grievance.
no, no. I mean, if I need to get a second job, I'll get it, or look for a better paying job that meets my circumstances. I'll find it. Like,
Yeah,
like
that's fine.
figure it out. You know what I mean? Instead of just
Yeah.
sitting there being a slave to an employer, or one employer that's not giving you what you want. I'm gonna go strike and they'll give me what I want if I just.
Right. Oh,
You know what I
classic.
mean? Yeah. And and
Well,
and and really, if you want to talk about income, maybe get rid of that union fees that you're paying.
right? Man, they are greedy because some of those percentages are high. And then sometimes they don't do anything. Like it's wild.
I wouldn't say they don't do anything. I think a lot of times they're, part of the problem, because they're going to justify their existence and the fees that they collect. And so,
Yeah. So they
yeah, so
are like the agitator, you feel?
well, definitely a part of it for sure. Because I'm not going to collect fees if I'm not doing nothing. I'm just collecting fees. What's your function? Like, what's the point of you?
Yeah.
Well,
Why
the
are you
point of
here? What do you do?
the point of the union is to be the negotiating
An
after
advocator.
the entire group of people that are mandatory to pay
Yes, 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 yes. We know all that, but there's no
attention.
negotiating, and there's nothing. People don't go on
But
strike
I'm
if
saying
there's
that
if there isn't
that is
issues.
a mandate. That is a mandate. And if you work in a facility like healthcare, you don't get to opt out of being part of the
Hold
union,
on.
whether you're efficient or
Oh, you're
not.
cutting out.
They're actually part of your negotiating team. And so yeah, it's a high price to pay for your fucking negotiations. I agree. And it's Sunday and I'm swearing. So work for yourself, everybody. You'll do a lot better. Know yourself,
Well,
Erin.
not everybody is geared up to work for themselves. Okay,
Very
unfortunately,
true.
um, even though, to me, even people that work for CN, for example, could all be set up as subcontractors, and actually they have been, some of them, because, for example, when I worked at the bank, I had a few customers from CN Rail when I worked at Scotiabank here in the city in Transcona. Um, and one guy in particular that I recall, Victor Ong, he worked for CN, and they laid them all off, but hired them all back as subcontractors. and Victor immediately tripled his income because now he wasn't getting paid. He's getting paid as a subcontractor, and was managing his own taxes and had his own trucks. It was actually a better deal for him in that way, and a
Oh,
better
wow.
deal too for CN, because CN is in Canada. Every employer that has an employee and has deductions, an employer has to match those deductions like CPP and all that shit to the government.
Right.
And I don't
Right.
even know if a lot of people know this. So there is a cost to the employer just to have you as an employee.
Yeah, employee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to me, that's a bunch of bullshit. It's just for even that reason. Everyone I've ever, worked with me it's been a subcontractor.
Hmm. There you go.
And
A
plus,
financial kink. I like
never
that.
mind, as an employer, if I view you as an employee, that's added workload for me because I have to do all this added paperwork for the fucking government.
Yeah.
In
And
terms of
liabilities,
all
no?
these, yeah, in terms of all these payroll submissions and deduction submissions and all this
And
other shit
deductions and
that
everything.
as
Yeah.
employer, so I got to either do it myself or hire someone else to do. So that's an added cost to me just to help, just to have you as an employee. Fuck that.
Mhm.
Yeah, screw it. Yeah, and the not.
And then on top of it, you're gonna go strike on me? Fuck you.
Yeah, yeah, the paperwork that's involved in the regulations to have an active Canada
Touche.
security in this country is unheard of for the cost. So closing it down, it's ridiculous.
Okay. So here's the deal. Unionization in Canada, 1981 to 2022 stats. Okay. Overall, the
81 to
percentage
2022.
of employees who were union members in their main job fell from 38% in 1981 to 29% in 2022. Okay.
Okay.
So
So
the
there's
use of
less unions,
unions,
is that what it's saying?
or there's less people in unions.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, because some companies actually give people the option to opt in or opt out too.
Well, I would think
Yeah.
that across the country, we know that we don't have as many workers as we once did. People that fucking used to work don't work anymore. There's vacancies in all those positions in all the government.
So nearly 30% of Canadian workers belong to unions. So that tells me 70% doesn't belong to unions. And
Yeah.
they're fine. I don't hear about strikes or anything from that other sector. And the 30% Canadian workers that belong to unions are including nurses, teachers,
Or
journalists,
government. Yeah. It's all
professional
government stuff.
athletes.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Is
Because
healthcare.
they're on their player association, right?
Well,
Yeah,
government is healthcare, and so if you work in the healthcare sector, you have no choice but
It's
to
all
be
government.
union. And so you have to pay top dollar to. They take money off your paycheck every 2 weeks. Okay. And when it comes to negotiations, which are on every 4 years, whatever they sign contracts for, these people that are your union representatives, these are not the people that are looking after the patients, frontline care people. Okay. But
Right.
they're to be advocating for the best things for the patients, the people that we serve. Pillows, blankets, blood sugar machines. Make sure people have a proper break. After you've been standing on your hours, it's hard to look after somebody. Try it, guys. Try standing for 12 hours and caring for someone intensively.
Yeah.
No break. Not even a walk, not sit down, but because those people that are in that sector, because they're trained to do that, don't mind. Okay. They don't mind because what's in front of them is more important, but they have to be able
Because they're
to
caregivers.
somehow have a balance between what's fair and what's
You
not.
cut out. Oh, there you are.
No, but a policy doesn't make a balance between what's fair and what's not fair. So most people I know in my background of healthcare,
You're cutting out. You need to come closer.
we would prefer nobody to even come to our doors, right? But that's not the reality. So the sectors that are caring for Canadians, whether it's railroad tracks, whether it's negotiating on our behalf in the sectors of schools, healthcare. We are all taxpayers. And we want what's best for everybody. So let's try to get fair contracts, fair systems, so people don't get what they call burnout, and we have less people able to work. They talked about the baby boomers my whole life. Here we are, 2024, after a global pandemic. more governance and transparency at every level of government in the provinces and federally for probably since before I was born. So the country is across the country, we are in poverty in Canada. Imagine. And that's what my Miller minutes are used to be about, and now they're about what we need to start preserving, because if we don't care enough about each other, okay, this is a Sunday. If we don't start caring enough about each other, at least we should start caring enough about the pollution, the ignorance people have to what we do love, which is why we love Canada. We have lots of space here. It's beautiful. We have ocean, we have grand land, we have best food. And right now, it looks like we are in, lots of people negotiating on our behalf. What the fuck does that even mean? Mm-hmm. Right? I know myself, groceries are already too expensive for me as one person, having to cut breakfast programs, etc., because we can't afford how much it costs to buy the food. Shame.
No, that's something we should go on strike about.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Shame.
Yeah.
I would never have
started oh, not a strike, but that's something that people should revolt about in terms
that is what I am. That's why I'm
talking. Yeah.
Against who do you go to?
In my own country here. We're in trouble. We're in trouble, and I don't.
I guess Parliament Hill.
Well, Parliament Hill, or everyone needs to get on the same page and just go on a strike for a week and shut down the economy in that way till there's proper changes are made to make things affordable for people. Like, that's kind of a worldwide consensus. But for me, anyways, in terms of employer, like, if I don't like the situation, I'm sorry, I'm gonna make a change. We'll talk about it. And if you don't agree, I'm gonna find an environment that suits me or that makes sense for me. It's just like, why am I gonna sit here and gripe? Because what kind of relationship is that gonna be if I gotta twist your arm every time to get what I want?
Yeah.
Well, I do think that we should.
That is true. It will be a tenuous relationship.
Yeah,
right? Showing the value of what is received. I mean, like, there's a difference between premium. Like, actually, I wish I would have talked about this on Real Talk, the service of a national bank. I'm going to talk about that next Real Talk. The service of our national banks in Canada. Where is our money? How do we get our currency? How come there's only one till open? How come they don't have disability things? Service, like, the banks are supposed to be service. And there's very little service at our national banks any longer. So I'm always shocked every time I have an experience with an elder or somebody that I'm going into a bank with. And this past week, I was shocked. And I think, Alex, you know a little bit about this story because I shared it with you this past week. And
what happened?
Oh, just like a variety of different things of banking that goes wrong, and so I should have talked more about that. I'm not really prepared to talk about that right now, but next Real Talk, I think we should talk about the national banks and the service that they have for their clients, and their clients being every single one of us that has a Canadian bank account. Okay. And what kind of service do they provide us as Canadians when we need to do anything, either online, over the phone, or in person? And like, I think you should be able to go to a Canadian bank and ask for $5,000 out of your bank account, and they should be able to give you $5,000 that day. Okay.
You got.
They don't. They can't do that anymore. They don't have that kind of money inside of their bank. They have to order it.
Well, yeah. Part of that though is because they're trying to go to cashless society, right? And so the banks carry. What's that?
My bank.
Exactly. No, exactly. It's their business. But guess what? If you bank, if you do business with them, then it is your business too. And so it will affect you. And so
Canadian law and rules, anything under 9999 is no problem. As soon as you hit to the 10,000, there's a flag, there's a whatever. So if I go into my national bank and I have 5,000 Canadian dollars as it shows up on that bank thing.
No, you're talking. No, Erin, listen, be clear, okay? No, what you're talking about there is it's only an issue over 10,000 if you're depositing money, and it's not an issue. They make you sign a declaration for where the funds are from. That is not from drugs or anything like that.
I know.
But anything under 10,000, they don't ask any questions. No, that's not what you said though. That's not what you said.
So how I started this is $5,000 from a Canadian bank. If you have that you should be able to go to the teller, and I have $5,000 in my account. 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 And I have $ and take $5,000 out to go to Costco. Right now, they have to order your money, so you have to wait. So that was a shock to me.
Yeah, but again, you're talking as if you own the banks, okay?
No,
Because
I'm saying that it would be different if
no,
I went in there
no,
and I
no.
had
Listen,
transactions of over
listen.
$10,000. Okay,
I agree with you, but
I didn't. This is my
but also
personal
disagree with
bank
you.
account to buy groceries for me
Listen,
and my family.
listen. I agree with you, but the bank is a business, and there's a cost to them to carry money, and there's also and never mind shrinkage from money from theft, and just and so the less money they're handling in the banks, they feel better because and everything's online, which is more trackable for the government as well as the banks. And so
Right.
from a business standpoint, I get why they do that because it's more efficient. It's
Right. So I'm
more
talking about a
profitable.
customer. I'm talking about a customer standpoint and the customer service point. And I wouldn't mind being able to go to Costco today because that's about how much a Costco run is now. So if I can't get Canadian money out of my bank, hey, at cash value, at Canadian currency that's running there, I feel like that's fucking funny. Funny.
Well, again, I don't disagree with you, but also know the control aspect of it from the
Yeah.
bank aspect and from the government aspect because
Yeah.
they want to control the monies that people are moving and large sums of money
Yeah.
basically
So
to try to curtail.
$5,000 Canadian getting out of your bank account. You gotta wait for a couple days, 3 to 5 business days. Then you gotta
No,
go back to the bank. Then you gotta go back to the bank to get it. So I
no,
don't
I think you
know.
just gotta give them notice. I don't think it's gonna be 3 to 5 business days.
That's what they told me.
To get wait a second, though. She's in a rural area. That might be why.
At a national bank.
No, bro. It's not like
I'm at a national bank
yeah,
in
like
Canada.
it's
In Canada. So I don't know. And maybe other people are having
I
those
just
kind of
don't
problems. Maybe they're not. I don't know.
think like places that are so remote
yeah. I don't
have
think it's
that kind
that
of.
rural. Yeah, I don't think it's that rural though, because what you're talking about there is in Duncan, right? Isn't that where you guys went for the bank or to Rob's?
I'm talking about national banks, brand banks, okay, in Canada. I'm in Vancouver Island, where my money, same bank, same national bank, okay, whether it's Royal Bank, BMO, Scotiabank, whatever it is, okay. I mean, I can tell what bank this is right now. It's BMO Bank. Got $5,000 in there and I can't get it out. They got to order it. That happened to me in Airdrie too, and I thought that was funny. So because when you're in remote areas, cash is best, okay? Canadian cash is best. I like to operate with the card and all that stuff, but sometimes it's best for me to have Canadian money, especially when I'm in Canada.
And you said you had
Well,
to order it. Like what? Never mind. I don't know.
No,
I've
I'm
never had
saying
that
it
problem
happens to me in Duncan.
with getting money from them.
So whatever. I'm just letting you guys know that that's something experience that happened to
But
me.
maybe it's more prevalent now. Yeah.
Well, Alex said they
Maybe.
don't keep really. They're trying to get everyone to go online. Well, that's fine, but I still want to have some money in my wallet.
That's fair. That makes sense. $5,000, pretty crazy, but yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So what about that DNC? You know, that acronym means something else, but we're not going to talk about that. But yes, the Democratic Convention down south, that was amazing in some parts. It was I want to talk about like two particular parts. One, Steve Kerr's, his
yeah,
voice was
amazing
lent
speech.
to it.
Better
Pardon me?
speech, yeah, was all the speeches were phenomenal, and it's funny because the like right now with the switch out, to be honest, I wasn't sure how I felt about the switch from Biden to Harris or him, or I wasn't sure how I felt about him stepping down. But right now it feels like they're on steroids, and the politics is like fun, like it's like exciting, it's like renewed energy, it's like a positive outlook and a positive, vibe versus all this gloom and doom and, lock them up and put up the walls and kick out the immigrants and, just all
Yeah.
this divisive bullshit, right? And so,
Mhm.
and I mean, for my stuff, even though, you know, the American journals, I consider them the evil empire because they're just so devilish in their ways and the way
They sway things,
screwed
right?
screwed country.
Or
Yeah.
really magnify certain things and like really
No,
don't even
they're
ignore
to
other
me like the
things, right?
new, yeah, they are to me like the new Roman Empire, the modern
Oh, they
Roman
definitely
Empire.
are. A
You know what I
hundred
mean? And
percent.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that being said, it's nice still to feel like you have someone in power that is human,
Yeah.
or doesn't
I'm
hold gripes,
hoping
or isn't like a uh this defies like just this
to
bitter
zip
human
it.
being. You know what I mean? Yeah, and just hateful person. You know what I'm saying? Like if you like him, great, he loves you. If you have an issue with him, fuck you.
Right. Yeah. There's no two ways about it. It's just that, it's one or the other. He's very black and white that way, which
Yeah.
I guess you can understand what you're gonna get with him. But sometimes he just says some outlandish stuff. But you know what I noticed?
No,
This convention is making him and his camp uncomfortable.
as
And
it
it
should,
hadn't
as it
and it
should.
hadn't been like that though. Like, think about it. It had not been like that for a long time. He is now uncomfortable. He is
Yeah.
doing things that he's kind of acting very erratic, even more so for him. That's crazy. That's hard to do. Very hard to
Well,
do.
wait, listen to what you're saying right now. This
Mhm.
convention's made them uncomfortable. And so before that, they were very comfortable with all their rhetoric and all the bullshit about taking away women's rights, fucking
Yeah.
taking away like gay rights, like 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 all this shit that is just so barbaric and like it's like takes you back to Stone Ages.
Mhm.
And this is the stuff that they and some of this stuff they Roe versus
They were
Wade,
totally come. Yeah, well, yeah.
yeah.
They
Do
wanted
you
to
know what I'm saying?
overturn everything, right? Yeah.
No, no. So this convention, yes, I agree, it's bringing it to light, and yes, you know, they're bring up all the shit he's done, including the January 6th and all that bullshit.
Mhm.
I cannot even believe that this goof is still a, an option.
I'm really disappointed in the
Look,
Republicans because out of all of them, this is your number one choice. It's kind of
exactly, that's what I'm saying.
it's
Like
it makes no sense.
Joe Biden stepping down. Trump should have stepped aside like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. After that riot thing, he should have stepped aside. Like the balls on
Well,
this guy. No, the balls on this guy to
it is the
still
balls.
sit there and represent.
Mm,
And after the the field election, all the false election accusations and trying to overturn the democracy of that country,
right.
and this guy's trying to get back into office, and there's people that actually still support him. What the fuck?
And there's a lot of people that still and you know what? I wish I could say it was like a lot of people with that just don't know better, we'll say, right? But it's not that case. Complete.
And just
Did
a
you see Hulk
just a
Hogan?
fuck that guy, and just a disrespect. Fuck that guy.
You saw it though, right?
Fuck that guy. No, I've lost all respect for that goof. Seriously,
You know,
all.
Trump tried to pull out every, I don't know, like
No, listen.
real American person that he
Yeah,
could
yeah,
find. It
yeah.
was nuts.
Real American trailer trash.
I just couldn't believe it. It was great. Oh man. So between the two events, you think Democrats really right now have a stronghold? The one thing I noticed,
Well,
like the celebrities that they had, and I consider Obama as a celebrity now,
oh,
and same with
100%,
his
100%,
same with his
100%,
wife.
100%.
Those people, their articulation, their speeches, everything was moving. Steve Kerr, same thing. I
Well,
know some
yeah,
people. What's that?
every one of their speakers, including even this influencer that they had on, who's got like 15 million followers or something like that, and they've been working that angle with influencers too, and a lot of
Which
young
is
people,
smart,
right?
which is
Which is
very,
great,
very
yeah,
smart.
yeah, because
That's how
this is where the
Obama
world is.
won too, remember?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
Yeah. You have to
I
appeal
think,
to that side, right? That's how
yeah.
younger people
Well,
communicate. So
they're
we're
connected to
reading it.
people, and guess what? And even Kamala was there. You know what? She wants to be a president for both sides. Represent both sides, like not and as it should be, right? Because you're not in office for half the country, you're in office for the whole country, right? So you got to do right by both sides, and here's where even the Republicans, they're not talking anything about any agendas or any policies or nothing like that. They're just Kamala, Kabbalah, like just
You know what that
being.
reminds me of?
What's that?
In Canadian politics, Justin Trudeau. They're doing those two parties right now are applying the exact same tactic. We don't have a stance on where we want to go. So we're going to throw muck at the other person and hope that me being like taking it to the streets or me being playground, oh, no, you're a bad bad politician, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like pointing the finger, you're an idiot, you're doing that. That's when the bully has nothing in their repertoire. Nothing. Nothing but words. Nothing but just, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. And that's exactly like Justin. Justin does the same thing when he's faced with Pierre Poilievre. It's amazing. It's actually kind
And
of interesting.
it's
Mm.
it's it's yeah. And I'm not sure why, but one of the Trump's biggest supporter, Mike Lindell, who owns My Pillow, shaved off
Right.
his mustache. And you should Google this. You guys will get a kick out of this. Actually, I'll send it to you guys. I'll find it and send it to you guys. He
Oh,
went
for
he
sure.
went undercover to the DNC rally.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, and he had a debate with a little kid. I think a 10-year-old or 12-year-old.
No,
Okay. And
really?
the 12 year
And did
old,
it
the 12-year-old
roast
put up
him?
his hands and roasted him and put up his hands and walked away. So how stupid you gotta be for a 12-year-old to say, you know what? I've had enough of you. I'm walking away.
Oh, I have to see that.
You gotta see this.
Wow.
It was the funniest thing ever. And so but the 12-year-old was like, so because Mike Lindell, typical Republicans or Trump supporters, was talking out of his ass. And the 12-year-old was like, so I'm supposed to believe you? I'm supposed to take your word for it? Just because you say so means it's true? Where's your proof? Where's your proof? Where's your
No way. Oh, good kid.
he kept rambling on and the kid just went, bye-bye.
That is classic.
Yeah, no,
I gotta
oh my
find that.
God. And the
Oh
thing
man.
is, and this is all yeah, it was all recorded too. This kid like just roasting him.
Oh, I love it. I'm trying to find it right now. Lindell goes undercover. Oh, here we go. I think it's
But I do gotta hand it to the American politicians or their election process because they do manage to somehow make it entertaining to me anyways, to a point
oh
where I do tune in versus like the Canadian
yes.
politics. I don't give a shit. I like it's just like whatever. But
Yeah, it
yeah,
is definitely is what is it called? Theatrical in the
Oh yeah,
US, right?
exactly,
one question for
Versus
both
exactly.
here,
of you.
definitely.
After that comment, one question for both of you. Do either one of you have a vote in the United States of America? Can you guys
No, we
vote
do
in
not
that
have.
country? So it
No,
is
we
for
don't vote.
so it is entertaining for you, McWitch. Thanks for clarifying that.
Not just entertaining though. We don't have a vote, but let's be honest. Whatever happens in America affects us here in Canada.
Oh,
Okay.
100%. That
And
that
so
free trade agreement makes
and
us like
yeah,
shackled to them.
yeah, and actually
Yeah,
affects the whole world.
you guys also mentioned, okay? This is funny, okay?
Yeah,
Because I'm listening. I'm a listener right
yeah,
now, okay? Because I'm disconnected from all of this, right? I can only
yeah.
imagine what's going on in my parents' house, everybody's house in Canada, watching the USA election unfold, right? Once I get on my TV, I'm going to also look at it, right? And figure out what's going on. So thank you guys on Real Talk on a Sunday morning. Make which to
For
you?
sure.
For letting me know what's going on, because it does matter who becomes the president of the United States of America. Their flag is liberty.
110% it
Of course
does.
it matters. 100%. Their population is big. There's lots of borders. There's lots to be said about the beautiful countries. In North America is Turtle Island, right? But what I find funny is that because the theatrical point, these are celebrities and this and that, Canada just is like whatever. So whoever's running the campaigns make it interesting, right? Remember, USA is spending a lot of dollar for these campaigns. These are Republicans and Democrats, right? Donald Trump.
Yeah.
These are big Hillary Clinton before, like lots and lots of money. So, you know, just keep yourself entertained by them, but also pay attention to what's going on in Canada, right? And so, you know, we along our border want less tariffs, no tariffs. We want free trade, which is real free trade. Like,
Yes.
you know, so
I don't think that is going to happen anytime soon, but I'm hoping for it because that would be nice free flow.
That is a nice free flow between resources within our big continent, right? So it does matter to us who gets in, right? Because everyone claims nobody, you know, the waters, the ocean, the international waters, all those things, it matters. So, you know, me, a Canadian girl, peace, love, grace. And if that's what they're running on the principles of their USA election, I pray that is happening, okay? I pray that's happening for that country, and I pray that's in the hearts of the change for change of people in my own country, right? So, yeah.
Well
so
said. I love
the
that.
grass will keep on being greener on the other side, guys, because I've seen people that have immigrated to this country not too long ago, living in a tent on the street. They had no idea it was going to be like this. Et cetera, right? I'm sure that happens in the USA too. This is a lot of the hot topics that I'm sure they're speaking about on every channel, on everything, right? So I appreciate the blend of our Canadian and our American, you know, policies and governance, right? Anybody that's operating with good governance and transparency, you know, with a heart of love, will do well. So, you know, but it is entertaining as I hear you guys say. So thanks for filling me in this morning.
I just sent the clip I was talking about to you guys. You're welcome.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm gonna add it on there. That's gonna be sweet.
Maybe midweek, someone can let me know what's going on with the railroad strike, so I can.
There's no strike.
Oh, it's already done.
It's done.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Nice.
Perfect. Thank you.
Not just the order. The strike is finished.
The strike is finished.
Oh, okay, great.
Fantastic.
Okay, well, hopefully everyone got what they were looking for, and I appreciate the people that are spending their extended hours on goods and services. Every time I have a bowl of cereal, I will thank the conductors, the engineers, the people putting rail cars together, because it's a very interesting sector that nobody ever gets to get around unless you're part of that industry. So even me, I try to get my friend Rodney Slater. Maybe if Rodney Slater is listening to this, Real Talk, he's my friend from high school. He's one of the engineers. He drives the train. That's the conductor, right?
That's a very important job. So,
that's what he does, and he's been doing that forever and ever. And I've asked him before if he would take me on a ride, and it's absolutely not.
There's a thing here on Google from TorontoCityNews.ca, August 22nd, that the CN Rail has ended the lockout recovery plan.
You guys
that was on August 22nd.
Yeah,
I thought the news from before was. Oh wow! So we talked about something that had happened.
No, interesting. But listen. Remember, the whole thing is that yesterday I was out at the sea and I saw a bunch of barges, and I asked what was going on. They said it's typical, but you'll see more and more. They said if the strike continues in Canada. So we talked about all of that, and there's no strike. So the barges are probably just waiting for whatever.
Well, I think they're prepping.
Maybe they're just backed up.
Because I think some larger corporations, I've heard on the news, had already made alternative delivery plans, because some companies just can't shut down, right? Which should be interesting, because I can't think of the name of the company. It was actually some huge company out of BC, but what's interesting about that is you almost wonder if some companies leave the railway and find alternative methods of delivering their goods that's more reliable.
Really use the trucker. trucking
Yeah.
industry.
Yeah, but there's like
Because
nothing.
that is, like you said, basically contractor
Yeah, I think
and
there's some
that's
things
it.
that have to go
Like,
hand in
it's just like
hand.
boom, boom, transport.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
So, do you guys have any last words for today?
So I'm gonna be working on getting what's up on my new phone. So I'm gonna work on that this week, and then maybe I'll get that organized. I'm gonna be doing that.
I did not hear a thing. But you want to say
Cheers.
anything to the fans
Cheers.
or fan? Cheers. Oh,
Cheers.
fantastic. That's a easy, simple one. And Mr. Kojo, Alex, my man.
be safe and keep improving. Striking is not the answer. Maybe they did mention divert it, but it's just a weird relationship to me. I cannot be at a place that I don't feel is treating me fairly or right, or that I don't agree with. It's
I
Yeah.
know. Hey,
Alex says,
hey guys.
cut bait.
Hey guys. It's part of the reason I want to leave
Life is
the
too
thing.
short.
It's one of the reasons why I want to leave the accommodations that I'm staying in. But all those reasons that Alex just said, one of the reasons I
Mhm.
want to get the heck out of here.
That's
But
fair.
instead, I'll stay
Well,
where I am and enjoy my time in the west side of Canada. And so peace be with Canada. Peace and love be with Canada.
there you
There, guys.
go. Peace and love be with Canada. Please like, share, and follow, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.